Welcome back, MTG Joe here, and today we're going to be trying out another type of tribal deck in Standard 2022. This is Rakdos Black-Red Berserkers. So we have a couple cards here that play and have advantage to playing Berserkers. We have Skemfar Avenger. Traditionally you see this card more so in Elves list, but it also works with Berserkers. Whenever another non-token Elf or Berserker you control dies, we draw a card and lose a life. We have Dragonskin Berserker, more just to make dragons in the late game, but also first strike. We have the Blood Sky Massacre. Chapter 1, make a Berserker with Menace. Chapter 2, whenever Berserker you control attacks, you draw a card and lose a life. And then Chapter 3, we add red mana equal to the number of Berserkers in our hand. Then we have kind of some one-drops in Dusk Wielder. You can boast to kind of drain. You have Raging Goblin. This is an arena exclusive card that works in Best of One that we're going to try out here. Just a 1/1 with haste. We just want to kind of fill in the curve, have an aggressive slant, and then refill our hand with the Bloodski Massacre. We have the Deadly Dispute with the Eye Twitch. So we want to see if this is better than the 1 mana create a treasure or -1/1 effect. We have a couple Arnie Broken Brow. This can get bigger with the based on like other creatures you control. Base power 1+ that the greatest power amongst creatures you control. And then a couple copies of Orcus, Prince of the Undeath. Basically either one side or like board wipe or deal a bunch of like recursive damage. We can get up to 3 on our curve, and then some gold spans on the top end. Snow mana base for Faceless Haven to play with our Berserker synergy. And then we have a wish board, Environmental Sciences, Necrotic Fumes, Summoning, some Exhibitions, Confront the Past. We don't produce any white mana in the deck outside of Goldspan Dragon or the Deadly Dispute tokens, but we have an Academic Probation if we need to tutor for it, just to get rid of blockers. Usually like to have access to that. We're never going to probably get through our whole sideboard of options, but give this a shot, see how it goes. Generally when I play like brews that I just throw together last minute or together quickly without testing, we'll try them in the play queue first, that we're doing today. As always, if you do enjoy the content, if you can, like, comment, and subscribe. All are free and easy ways to help out the channel. And something just to mention, if you aren't currently using Untapped GG, it's the best arena companion tool. Shows you in-game statistics, like what you're going to draw, stuff like that. Also tracks all your back-end game status, win-loss records, everything like that. I do have an affiliate link in the video description. It's free to download, to use. It's probably the most helpful tool you can use with Arena. But definitely something to try out. If you follow the affiliate link, it doesn't cost you a thing, and just lets them know that you came from me. Let's go Eye Twitch first. If this dies, this is also evasive. So nice aggressive slant. I think next turn we go Dragon, Skin Berserker. This will hold back Professor. Get him dead quick, because then next turn I can throw this on red and drop 3 1-drops. We want to really see the Bloodski Massacre. Ooh, okay. What we don't want to see, Boros Angels. I played the wrong land. Alright, punt count 1. Gotta see if I could kind of juke them, go for an attack, and then Orcus here. Yikes. Getting that bigger is gonna be a problem. This gets smaller after, we can try to race. It's not great here, but I think we're just doing this turn. This will hold this back at least a turn. And then we can set up. We're not winning this game. Not beating double Righteous Valkyrie without being able to do any damage to them. Boros life gain mid-range. I don't think it made a difference. Like, a 2-4 with our deck is going to be troublesome. We want to go, like, really linear aggro. They can all... Their combination of, like, sitting back, their squad's getting bigger is an issue. I think we keep this. We'll go with Sulphurous Mire first. I think we go Berserker here. This is likely control. So I do like dropping... You know what, I should have led with this. They could have had like this Jawari Disruption perhaps. Next turn I could go Bloodski Massacre. If they have Draconic Intervention, we're getting blown the hell out. No Draconic. Break. So you don't typically see this over these decks. This also exiles, which puts me in a really rough spot. So they're kind of inclined to kill this. You can gold span here. Not terrible. Next turn, I get an extra mana, so I can gold span, play this out as well. So we'll do this. I think given the likelihood that they have removal, we're going to hope for that this works. Okay, do have enough to both activate Faceless. 1, 2, 1, 2. This is where the exile is kind of a pain. Alright. Hands down. Orcus could give our things haste. They can have some like Alrund's turns. Looks like they potentially have a sweeper here. The exile is just really unfortunate here. We're not drawing cards. JK, LOL. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If we draw an untapped land, I can get back this. I can also just minus 4, 4. Cool. That worked out. So when our opponent doesn't spam a bunch of angels, so I'm gonna fire next game. Just gonna turn the light on. It's quite dark here. So with Historic Jumpstart coming around the corner, we will be playing that later in the week once we acquire some cards. It's a little bit awkward, the acquisition model. I'm going to have to do some Jumpstart events. Opponent goes first. I think this is fine. What we didn't want was more lands. So I think we're going to hold off showing them that we have red in the deck. Do this. You know what? I messed that up. I should have done that because I could have played this tap the following turn. little thing here. So they can make this bigger. They're going to take Orcus, most likely. Taxing that's pretty big. Jeez. Only lands. Sideboard wise here, we'll probably just get Inkling. Jeez, with the pump up here is really bad. Surprised they didn't do this. I'm gonna have to get it. I think we're just doing Inkling this turn. We need to build towards this. Problem is, like, by the time I get it large enough, this Luminarch's gonna run over. Yeah, we're playing from behind here too much. I think we need some removal here. This Orcus is really not pulling its weight. We're dying too much because we're not interacting with our opponent's board. So I think what we're going to do is cut the Orcus, Frostbite, and Berserker. Still play a couple of these. Run it like that. Magda's technically a Berserker, but without Jaspara Sentinel, it's not really worth it. We also don't have like Lord effects to make our things bigger. And the only way to really make things bigger is in white. It's for either Showdown or... So, opponent goes first. We'll see what they play, but... I kind of want to curve... I guess we do this, because if we draw an untapped line, we're fine. I want to curve into the Bloodsky Massacre. And worst case, I can just pump the mana into this if needed. We're gonna Blood Chiefs there, so we're cool there. Yeah, going Bloodsky into Bloodsky is pretty nice. This does look like Golgari control, which is going to be a pain. So ideally, they fire up Faceless Haven to block, not realizing it has Menace and I Frostbite. That's really good. Blind. So we are playing into like Shadow's Verdict here, but I need to kind of start putting some pressure on them, missing our line drop. Asika. Okay, this is actually pretty good because I can go to combat. Why won't you let me stop at declare blockers? And then okay, so it's on attack anyway, so it's fine. If they want to double block, they can double block. And then I just take out one of them. And now I can eye twitch and then hold up Deadly Dispute. And then just pump a bunch of mana. If they sweep, we're in a pretty good spot. Because if they sweep, I just untap and Goldspan Dragon. This takes him off tokens as well. Second Chariot. Sure. So here I'll block Eye Twitch. This also means that they're tapped out. Just get Mascot Exhibition, which is a nice one to kind of fuel us late game. Okay, well. Folks, we are on dragons, dragons, and more dragons. Let's go. Hello, good luck. How are you? So they can go shadows here. So my decision is like just this or this plus an Eye Twitch. I have to get off a treasure in order to do so. They are potentially short of mana. They can hit me with Chariot. But if Berserker gets down, this gets cheaper because then I have the dragons attacking. I think I like that. If they just sweep, then I come down with a dragon. So they need an answer this turn on the board state that it is. And that's a tap land. That's big. Okay, that's big. Calling Ritual. That should give me a chance to respond. That's something notable. Because you can't float the mana. I'm going to get Confront the Past just in case they're on Liliana. Soul Shatter. What else you got? Professor Onyx.
The essence of life is inseparable from the essence of death. Come on, there's got to be something useful.
That land was actually pretty good. Because now I get to go...
Answers, not more problems.
Oh, remove twice X. So we are fine anyways. Take Lily off there. They're one snow mana away from Blood on the Snow. Okay, so they can Blood on the Snow back Liliana. Fine. Krakma is interesting. This Bloodski was pretty good this game, just drawing us some extra cards out of there. The last chapter was kind of relevant as well. So they're like a rock style deck. Turns out this Goldspan Dragon card's pretty good. I don't know if anyone else has caught on to that yet. Let's give Berserkers one more go. I think we're 2-2. Tiebreaker. Turns out white-based aggro has been a problem for us. I think the switch to have some more interaction instead of Orcus has been better. We don't generate huge amounts of mana. Like that game, we did draw 4 Goldspan Dragons, which is probably more unusual. Sure. Wish you were a black source or a red source. Raging into that. Skemfire attacks into Wolf. Uh oh, they've had their best start. Jeez. Okay. Can I have it all for 500? Can see Goldspan next turn. Mana off this, token off this, treasure. Will we see the turn 3 Goldspan? Equally as disgusting. Okay, we're gonna fire up another one, but you can't really, like, when your opponent does that, and that's the main reason why you want Jaspera in Magda. If they didn't have Jaspera, that Magda turn goes a lot worse, but when they're dropping, what was that? Turn 2, 4 mana, turn 3, a 4 drop, and then have available mana up, plus gain life, plus, like, tokens. Doing a great job of drawing these Faceless Havens. I'm going to get rid of Arnie here. Notably, this is non-token, so these don't trigger, but I think just trying to draw cards off this is where we want to be. We can put the Arnie back. We really want to keep 3 lands here. Obviously, if we can guarantee that in our first 2 draws, we hit, or if our first 3 draws, we hit a 3rd land, but I think it's safer like this. Generally, you want to lead on your snow lands first. So they're on some sort of red-blue deck, likely dragons. Don't see black mana yet, so we don't know if they are on a Grixis version. So here they're going to need 2 removal spells. Or just Jawari Disruption. Getting got by this card feels so bad. It goes from being such an amazing turn 2 or just like gotcha play to just being like the worst late draw. Yeah. We're gonna get gold spanned here. Worst drop is them go Goldspan into... Okay, that's a good start. But if they have Frostbite, then we're kind of annoyed. One way we could get around this is if we have a Snowland, we can activate Faceless Haven. Alright, well, we're face up. What you got, opponent? What you got? I think we're blocking here. We can start boasting for dragons. It's probably just mascot. Try to play to the late game. If we hit a land, we can mascot. That looks like counterspell. So this, it's either Alrins or a counterspell. This lets us keep up with 3 points of burn. If they start taking extra turns, it also lets us hit the Faceless Haven. Could you see extra turns being taken now? That Jawari just completely blew us up. Like, it was right playing it then to try to get ahead of them, but... Okay, they are full of foretell. Alright, it's this dragon versus the world. Yeah, they're going to be able to find potentially an answer here. The one thing is if they do somehow... So divide by 0 doesn't hit tokens. They need to like combat block type thing. If they try to just activate Faceless, they just have Into the Royal, which is super annoying. This isn't a card you usually see out of dragons. That's not really what we wanted. Nice thing here is they don't have enough mana to take an extra turn. It gives us a chance, provided we have an untapped land. Like, drawing both of these. Okay. Can you counter me? Jawari Disruption. We're out of gas now. They have all runs. At this point, like, once they get a couple attacks with the dragons in, you're not really going to do much. That was that Jawari, because if we stuck that, they don't have enough removal right then and there. We could potentially draw some cards out of it, but then also off that dispute, drawing 3 straight lines. This hand's good. This hand is good. So I'm going to go Dusk Wielder into Skemfar here. This allows us to play spells out multiple turns. Mono green, the good thing we're on the play. Got a reader here. Next turn I can do Sulphurous Mire into Eye Twitch. I want a Bloodski. So Boast, just remembering it's if it attacks. Class is a bit annoying. Could see an attack. They have Blizzard Brawl too. It's a good turn for them if they do, because then it just opens them up. They can basically just trade away one of their tokens. Yep. Lets them get in here with an attack. Probably too far behind now. I guess this dragon might be able to get us kicking and screaming. Sorry, I think it is right here to play for the dragon turn. I swear, we only have 4 tap lines in the deck, but it seems like we're constantly drawing them. It's gonna be hard to race. Because we're taking 5, 9, 10 next turn. Let's go Dragoon. They have another fight spell. probably put it on the wolf there. So that's 10. They can pump up this for more trample next turn. Do this for the dragon. I think we need to do this. Nah. It's low key really good. Okay, so we go dragon here. Give us some blockers this turn. We gotta somehow like keep a creature if possible. Draw a gold span. We weren't winning with a 5/5. This is getting trample. So do this. Sack this one. They have inscriptions. Fire's not really gonna do it. Problem being, we just don't gain enough here. They go wide enough. I don't know what we're playing for, but Go Raging Goblin. Draw a card. Lose a life. Not what we wanted to draw. Fear the Raging Goblin. Yeah, this deck feels pretty underpowered compared to some of it. Like, we've been winning more off Goldspan, not necessarily the Berserkers. They're too fragile. There's just not enough value here. Especially if we're just drawing all lands. Alright, we'll wrap this one up. Interesting tribe, but if you're playing Rakdos, there's better decks right now, like the Rakdos Treasure Dragon style deck, or using the ones with Showdown just seems a lot more cohesive of a strategy. We won games off Goldspan Dragons, and like this Blood Sky Massacre was pretty good, but there's just not enough impactful 1 and 2 drops. Like this being a 3/1 that doesn't replace itself and also dies to everything doesn't help. You can't really attack in with it. This fine, but again, it's a 2-mana 2/2. There's a lot of 3/3s in the format, or 3 toughness that's tough to deal with. But we try them out. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Anyways, appreciate everyone stopping by today. So always, if you can, hit that like, comment, and subscribe button. Thanks for watching. Have a great one.